Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar event. This is Josh. I'm going to be your primary host presenter for today for Church Windows. Folks are talking about how they're not hearing any sound. The event is now just starting. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Welcome. We're here for our first joint Church Windows Aatrix eFile webinar event today. We've got folks I'm going to be turning over the event here to those folks from Aatrix here momentarily, but just a few things from Church Windows perspective before we get started. Again, welcome to everybody that's joining us today. The event is scheduled for 45 minutes today, folks. I believe the Aatrix folks said that theirs is going to take about 30 minutes or so, the presentation. If you have questions, please enter those in the Q&A portion of the Zoom control panel, meaning I guess basically all we simply ask is that you keep your questions on the topic today, which is essentially about Aatrix, okay? Somebody will be monitoring those questions at all times, and we'll do our best to get those answered either during the event. A couple things, though, before we get started here, before I hand things over here to those folks is, as here we are, it's December 20th, 2024. Many of you are joining us today because you're preparing to print or e-file your end-of-year tax forms, notably W-2s, W-3s, 1099s, 996, 1096, and your final 941 form. We're really excited to have the representatives from our partner forms provider, Aatrix eFile, with us today. We're going to turn it over to them, but we just wanted to have them show you why you may consider using them for your tax forms and e-filing needs, okay? Whether that's just because you're required now to e-file or because you simply want to make the process easier and faster and safer. We started and introduced Aatrix to our Church Windows customers at the end of 2022, and while this may be a little overdue, we decided to have them share some of their information about exactly what it is they do with you directly. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. So a couple things about Church Windows here is, first of all, I just want to remind everyone, we are not going to be going through any of the processing of tax documents today. No W-2 processing, W-3s, 1099, nothing. This is all about Aatrix and about what they can do for you, okay? But I do have up here in the background our website and on the Resource Center page here. So if I go to the Resource Center here page and notice Rachel has put the W-2 filing instructions, 941 filing instructions, and 1099 filing instructions right at the very top. I just remind you folks, you've got till the end of January to get those forms, officially released or sent out. So there's some time. And while there have been some minor changes, all the documents have been updated, okay? So the forms themselves have all the documents that are out here in this document or video are all been updated to any of the new screens that are there. So if you're really eager to get a jump start on that, by all means, check these out here. We will have new videos on this process for Church Windows starting in January, okay? Again, if you have questions, please type those into the Q&A portion of the Zoom control panel. And so, all right, I think we're ready to go. So let's go ahead. And Scott, I'm going to turn the host duties over to you now. So let me go ahead and give you that control, make host, and yes.
I love having control. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. Good to have you. Good to have you here. Pleasure. Thank you so much. So let me get your screen there, and there you go. You are all set.
Sounds good. I think we're going to start here with some intro, so I'll let Nisa and Jess start. Nisa, you're muted, but that's all right.
Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Nisa. I'm here at Aatrix as the partner partner account executive. Worked also in the sales department. So I've worked with a lot of your church windows customers. Probably may have spoken to a couple of you in the past, helping you all with understanding what Aatrix really has to offer with our e-filing services and how that can help you save a lot of time and money. And I'm here to do that again today. So looking forward to a productive and efficient and effective, presentation for you guys today. Thank you.
Jess, are you on? Yes,
I
there she
sure
is.
am. I'm Jessica Reimer. I'm the Director of Product Management at Aatrix. I've been here for about 18 years, kind of worked in all the different departments. I probably spoke with a bunch of the customers as well. And my main responsibility here is to work with church windows and make sure that everything when you run your tax forms are working the way that you need them to.
And Jess is also, she doesn't say it, but her primary responsibility is to make sure that Nisa and I don't say anything that's not true, right? We don't get ourselves into trouble here, promising. So
Yes.
Jess,
Yeah.
I appreciate that's the unwritten truth of what she does. But Jess, I appreciate you lending us your time today. Hello and good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Coleman. I'm the Director of ISV Partner Sales at Aatrix Sovos. I'm fairly new to the team by comparison. I'm very green compared to Nisa's 5. And Jess, what did you just say, 17? Oh my. Okay. So, but I've been in the sales and partnership world for most of my career and working in tax compliance for well over a decade now. So, and speaking of partnerships, I just want to say how much we really do appreciate our partnership with the whole team at Church Windows. They've been fabulous as we've been working together to set this up. Have been fabulous for a while, but especially as we go to set this up. And we appreciate the opportunity to spend a little time with all of you folks today.
Thank you.
We don't have a ton of time today, but we're gonna try to be very efficient with the time we do have. But rest assured, as Josh was saying, if you have any questions, I hope you won't hesitate to either put them in the chat or reach out to our team after today's meeting. And if we don't get to everything, we will absolutely follow up with you post-webinar. So let's take a quick look at the agenda today. Sorry, clicking on too many screens here. There we go. I'm going to take you through a quick overview of the Aatrix solution, talk a little bit about why use Aatrix and some of the benefits of using Aatrix. I'm then going to hand it off to Nisa, and she is going to show us what our filing options are, as well as a little glance into the pricing model. Then she's going to take us on a tour of a couple areas, the quick tour of the filing process, as well as the customer portal, so our website. So, and then after all that, obviously a lot of you are going to be saying, Scott, this is awesome. How do I get started? The good news is we're going to have some easy steps for you on how to get started at the very end. All right. So who is Aatrix? Well, Aatrix is a company that's been around since 1986. So we are not new to this business, as many of you know. Process millions of quarterlies, W-2s, 1099s, ACA filing, process billions of dollars in payments. 97% of our customers that file with us would recommend us to our colleagues, and that means a lot to us. Let me just pause for a moment there. 97% approval and recommendation rating. That's pretty high. I looked it up just for fun. Netflix, that's higher than Netflix. And I thought everybody loved Netflix. So I think we're doing some things right here, and we hope to be able to do that for you guys as well. We currently support over 300,000 businesses, and that number continues to grow each and every year. So how have we been able to be around for almost 4 decades and have such a high satisfaction rating? Our annual customer surveys is something we send out every year, and they've helped us shed some light on this over the years. And we've tried to sum it up and what people are saying about it, and the 3 reasons they come with, that they not only work with us, but they stick with us. To sum it up, it's really the power of one. So the first thing is one process. It's one seamless filing process to process any report or payment that Aatrix offers. So it doesn't matter if it's an unemployment report from Rhode Island, a state withholding payment for a W-2, they're all filed in the same way. And it's this filing process that's going to save you time. Obviously, teams want to be productive and companies need them to be productive. and filing to multiple websites, state and federal agencies. It's just a massive time waster. So NISA is going to give you a taste of what that process looks like in just a few minutes. So the second one is one website. So one central location to not only set up your account, but also view the filing history, status, confirmations, support communication, and much more. And the good news is NISA is also going to give you a quick tour of this and explain all the features that are really packed into this solution. And finally, it's one support group. So one support group to answer all your questions about whether it's, pre-sales questions and how to get started, or you've made a filing and you have questions about what's going on there. We have a US-based support team available 8 to 5 daily, and we even operate extended hours during the peak filing periods that are coming up. And the great news is you can use whatever method of communication is most comfortable for you: phone, chat, email. So if you want to talk to a real human person, call us. But if you're at home and let's just say, I don't know, you're still wearing your holiday jammies, or maybe you're just done to talking with people after the holidays, first of all, we won't judge. But you can use email or chat to get your questions answered as well. And our support services don't have any additional fees associated with them. It's all included as a part of our service. All right. So digging into a few more reasons why you should be using Aatrix. First of all, it doesn't matter what filing format or filing method is required by the agency that you're filing to. When it's filed with Aatrix, we guarantee that the file will be made in the format that that agency requires. That's especially nice when, let's say, you're expanding your business, moving into a new state. Maybe you're not sure what the filing requirements are. Send it to Aatrix, and we guarantee it's going to get done right. In total, Aatrix runs over 200 error checks in the background during the filing process. So we know you guys are double checking the accuracy of the data, but we're also triple checking it in the background. And it's really because of this error checking that the agency rejection rate is so low, and the chance of a fine or a penalty is greatly reduced when you use Aatrix. Plus, we are constantly updating all of our forms to make sure the correct and updated version is being filed every time. And security. You can't talk about compliance without talking about security. Security of our customers' data is obviously essential. We are regularly audited. We undergo intrusion testing to ensure our systems meet the highest standards. We are SOC 2 Type 2, HIPAA certified. All of our security reports are available to our customers under the About tab at aatrix.com. And now I'm going to hand it off to Nisa so she can share some more great information with you, as well as give you a quick look at the filing process, as well as a quick tour of our customer portal. So Nisa, it is all yours. I'm going to stop.
Awesome. Thanks.
So I will advance. Yep.
Yeah, great job. All right, everyone. So today I'm going to share some information that will help you understand why it's worth your time to actually file with Aatrix. I mean, we are a seamless integration within the Church Windows product, and something just to kind of give you an idea on if you were thinking about actually filing your W-2s or your 1099s, doing all the printing and mailing in-house. I pulled up some data from this year just to show you what the comparison of just even cost and time using Aatrix compared to what you would do in-house. So I took a number of about 100 employees and about 20 vendors, and just off of that data, we come to find that the W tax forms will cost you $99.95. Your 1099 forms will cost you $31.55. And for an accountant's hourly rate to complete these filings, from maybe the printing, the stuffing of the envelopes, it takes them about 20 hours, okay? And that's not even including the mailing cost, the postage cost, right? Altogether, with this data pulled out, it comes up to about $8.26 per employee or per recipient to start the process of your W-2s or your 1099s from start to finish in-house. And today I want to show you how we can essentially cut that cost in, by over 75% worth your money and your time. So next slide, please. So within the Church Windows product, we have like Scott mentioned, we have a ton of filing form options for you guys. We have the year-end W-2s, 1099s, 1095s, and I'm just going to talk about that because this is the year-end solution that we have to offer you guys, where we have a number of services that you can select through your product. The one that I'm really going to emphasize today and hope that you give it a try if you're not already using it, is the complete service. And just from the previous slide of, going over that data, showing you, live numbers that it costs you over $8 to just to file one recipient, I'm going to explain how our complete service works in doing that. So if you're the type that doesn't want to spend that money, right, and also wants to save your time, let Aatrix handle that. Right? Our complete service includes all the printed employee or recipient copies being printed, envelope stuffed, mailed to the employee or recipient. We also host those PDF copies online as a backup in your account for up to 2 years. We do keep, and I will be referencing that in the demo later. We e-file your federal W-2s, W-3s, the SSA, the 1099s, and of course the state filings too. All of that just for $2.46 per employee. Now, we do have a minimum cost of $27.99. So depending on the number of employees within that filing, if you hit that minimum, that's still a lot more than just paying for one, right? Employee at $8 and what was it, 26 cents. So we do have that option. And it's just peace of mind knowing that we will be printing it on the right forms, on the right paper, the right alignment. And also we have a tracking, and I will show you that too, of knowing if your printed employee or recipient copies have reached, the vendor or the employee in that case. But for whatever reason, if you're new to the process, you may have already bought your forms. I'm not too sure. We do have the other options of, going just with the online services without the printing and mailing for $1.29. We have federal and state services just for the e-filing. If you've already printed and mailed, not a problem. But I highly do recommend, just for your time worth and your money's worth, the complete service is highly recommended. And we do, yearly surveys right after the year-end filing, and Church Windows customers have always, raved about the complete service being so simple, just really taking that burden of the stress, over that time of filing. So highly recommend you look into that. The next slide, I'm gonna just just touch upon. We also have our quarterly option, new hire payments, 940, 941, withholding reports also available. In this essentially this package, we are consistently adding, new forms. We've also added our PFML, California Pay Data, the EEO1. We consistently keep adding forms that are becoming more and more popular. That's not only just needed to be e-filed, but we also look at states. Some states just have like a ton of forms to file, and the more they become popular, the more that it's very likely that you will see it within our forms list. You can also go a la carte with these options, but give us a call, and maybe we can spend some time sharing with you how we also have like a package pricing for just these payroll reporting forms, not including the W-2s. Those are separate services, but we do have e-file packages. That's a subscription for the year. And you can file as many times as you want, as many forms as you need, all while saving money. Okay, so we do have those options. So we can reference. We have those references on our partner page for Church Windows, and/or just pick up a phone, call us, and we'll be able to kind of go through that and give you some scenarios that you could add to your planning for year end and your quarterly reports. All right. So next slide, please. All right. So how does this all work? All right. Currently right now, I just took some of the screenshots, and I know that Josh had already kind of maybe had that outlined, but where you can find Aatrix for payroll is right through your payrolls tab under your electronic filings and through your tax form menu. Next slide, please. Under the payroll, you will find a forms list, which I'm going to actually pull up that will look something similar. And you'll find your 941 reports here. You'll find your W-2s here. You'll also find your ACA reports. And then I also took the liberty on the next slide to even just show you that, the accounts payable for your 1099s is a very similar process within your church window. So right under your reports tab, accounting reports, and then of course your tax form, and you'll find your 1099s right there. So pretty simple. That's how you start the process with your year end. And then, of course, I will also be showing you that prior to e-filing with Aatrix, we require each, company to essentially enroll themselves, thus creating a username and a password, which essentially connects the file that you are processing from church windows to Aatrix so that we can make that transmittal over for you to the agency. And again, I will be showing you that here in a bit. I think the next slide is me now showing you the demo. So I will go ahead and yes, all right.
I just stopped Nisa, so hopefully you'll be
Okay,
able to get in.
perfect. Yes, I will go ahead and share my screen here.
I'd like to just interject really quickly, if you don't
Sure.
mind. Sorry to interrupt. We
No
just had some
problem.
folks stating that they weren't able to see the screen slides changing. And folks, I'm sorry, but yeah, if you see them across the top, you've got to click the tab for the presenter there. If you click, now Nisa's tab should be at the top. If you click on that, you should be able to now see her screen. There it is. So I've clicked on mine. You may have to do the same thing. That's all. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. So thanks.
Okay, sure. Yeah, hope everyone can now see my side because this is kind of like the meat and the potatoes. Now we're getting into the demo of what it's like to now file a W-2 through the process. So just like I showed you in those screenshots, through your payroll reports, through your tax forms, you can see that the form selector is right here. You can either choose federal or state, of course, whichever state you want. We file for all 50 states, so each state will have its report there. And what's nice about this form selector is, like, even if you click on it and you don't understand, like, do I need to file this report? We have a nice little description box on the right-hand side, so it'll tell you what you would need to do, or what the description of the form is. So in this case, I'm going to go and select, as you can see, we've got all my 1099s. I'm going to select the W-2 for today. I've already gone ahead and enrolled with Aatrix. I have my EIN already registered with my account. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the process. Excuse me. This is honestly going to be a very quick process. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the information already exists within Church Windows. At this point, that information is essentially going to present on the form or within the software where you're essentially just verifying that, okay, is this correct? Do I need to make any quick edits? And that's basically what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to honestly fly through this because this is going to be exactly what you guys are going to be essentially doing, is just verifying. So again, this is a demo product, so I just want to make sure to let you guys know that the information or the pricing may not obviously be Church Windows specific, but the concept is essentially going to be similar. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select next. Basically, again, adding me to verify my information. Over here is just, are you sure you're filing for this EIN? I am. If I have multiple payroll data files, you can merge them, of course. I don't in this case. Going to go ahead and select next. The company information, again, already exists from, essentially enrolling within your Church Windows product right there. Asking what kind of taxpayer I am. I'm filing for myself. If you are filing for multiple EINs, and you can select yourself as a third-party preparer under our batch filing system, if that is something that you have already or would want. So we have our tax items, special tax, local items. Everything is essentially, as you can see, very quick, already coming out from your Church Windows software. So it's all next, next, next. If you need optional to put any control numbers or anything like that, go ahead and put all that information in there. Truncation of your social securities, I'm just going to go with the default, but there are some options that you guys can choose. All right. Now, at this point, that information has been verified. We are now going to essentially get to a section where you can make edits on the fly. And this is a grid where it's going to show you I'm going to blow this up here. It's going to show you information regarding your W-2. So on the left-hand side, we have all the information regarding the employees, their names, their addresses, all that good stuff. And then of course, on the right-hand side, we have all the expenses. So at this point, if you do see any let's just say Claudio had a wrong spelling. You can go ahead and make the edit right in this grid, but understand that you do have to go back into your original software in Church Windows under that employee's record and make that that change there. We're not synchronized after this point, essentially with the information. So just note that you do have to go back if you do make any edits here, whether you be adding information or removing. So it's essentially acting like a spreadsheet. So you could add rows of information, delete things, very, very, user-friendly from that point. So on the top here, it's going to say verify employee information. So that's what we are now doing, those error checks that, Scott talked about on the formatting. So we're going to go ahead and select next. All looks good. We're verifying additional information. This is all click, 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 guys. It's that simple. Verifying federal information on the right-hand side there. All right, next is state information. Anything on unassigned. Everything looks good. So it's now asking you, are you sure? Do you want to move forward or do you want to go ahead and double check? Everything looks good to me, so I'm going to agree and move forward. At this point, we're now going to essentially select our services and pay for our product, right? This is just advertising that, hey, our W-2, that complete service can help you save some time and money. So it originally does default to the complete service. Again, don't worry about the pricing. This is a demo version, so you will see that $2.46 for that complete service. And then, of course, depending on how many employees you are filing for you, if you hit that minimum, anything above that that $27.99 will be obviously the higher amount, but you will have all of these services provided for you under the complete. And like I said, if you were a smaller company, you just wanted to try just the Fed and state, these other options are listed here, but complete is your guy. All right, next. We do offer an option for you to purchase like some PDF archives. Some companies do like to keep these copies on hand like forever. But like I said, if you don't need them, you don't have to purchase them. So you do have to select no thank you. Otherwise you will see that like $40 charge on your bill at the end. So now you are going to be able to see, I'm just filing for the state of Idaho. The review data is essentially, you're going to see the complete replica of what is actually going to be mailed out to the employees, what the agencies are going to receive. So this is pretty neat where if you are not using Aatrix Complete, you can go ahead and do your own printing through here. You can keep your statement copies, right through this product. So as you can see, we have the W-2 form right here. If there's multiple pages on the top left-hand side, you can just go ahead and, next over just to see the information. And as you can see, all the information transferred on beautifully the way it needs to be. Click next. Again, demo products is going to ask me if I want to print, but we are not. So I'm just going to say cancel. All right, the next report, and it does tell you on top like what kind of forms is coming next. So right now we're going to be seeing the federal W-2 all here. We do have multiple pages for that. So everything at this point, guys, is just next, next, next. So this shouldn't take you too long from the start. I don't think it's going to take us 20 hours to even file all these 17 employees here at all. So already saving you a lot of time here. So I think the last report is the state W-2, and then soon after that, your process is almost over. All right. Oh, one more report here. Okay, so I do have to fill in this because I might have just not had enough information within my demo, but it surely is not going to be the case for you, as it is the information is coming out of church windows. And so a little bit about this form is anything in the blue boxes are editable, and anything that is red is missing, and you need to fill out the form before we can e-file. So I'm just gonna select some dummy information here. All right. I think I am good on that page. Going to select next. Again, one last chance asking you to verify, making sure that everything looks good. I am good to go because I want to be done. I did not want to print, but you do have the option. At this point, the file is now being created and is ready to submit over to Aatrix. That's where that username and that we talked about that enrollment, that's where this comes into play, where you do need to put your username and your password that you created with Aatrix before e-filing. So I'm just going to go and log in, which, oh, did I spell that wrong? Yeah, should be good now. Okay, I am going to go and log in. At this point, again, last steps here, guys, just confirming, is the enrollment information correct? Everything looks good to me. It's updating my file, and I will oh, this is a really good point. So I really highly recommend that you, as an employer, you select yes to this feature because it gives your employees the ability to automatically import their W-2 info with any of these like tax options, H&R Block, Intuit, or Tax Act. If they did choose, if they did have one of these as their income tax filing options, it really helps eliminate the hand keying of the information for the income tax. So it's a really nice feature that you could really select and give your employees an easier time to file. I'll just say yes. Next step. All right. This is those e-file packages I was talking about. But yeah, feel free to give us a call. We can talk a little bit more about those. Again, don't worry about that pricing. But all right. Oh, that was my cost, $37.99. If you do, for any reason, are looking to file your W-2s and your ACA together, we also have another cost-saving service there for you guys where we can cut your cost by 50% for your ACA. There are a few things that you do have to do in order to qualify for that. Therefore, filing the W-2 complete service and also selecting the same mailing date for both W-2s and ACA complete. That the reason is because we at Aatrix we can actually print the ACA on the W-2 form, but we do also have a specific date range, and I believe it's by the 23rd of January that these files need to be, both these files need to be in order to qualify for that extra 50% saving. So just keep in mind there, if you are ready to, to file the ACA, you definitely can save some money there too. I'm just gonna go ahead and select no. All right, this is where that selection of those mailing dates come. If you do not have a mailing date selected, Aatrix will mail out the next business day. Okay. This is my credit card info. I'll just kind of give you a dummy one here, but this is essentially what it's going to look like. Select next. At the time of paying. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and submit just for demo reasons, but I just want to show you that this is the confirmation. So when you click on submit, you will then get a confirmation that in two spots, in your eFile account and also on the email address that you use to enroll. So two spots where you get that confirmation, and it's called the AFID, and I'll show you that in my Aatrix account, that you will only get that AFID once the form is submitted. Even though that says confirmation, that does not mean that we have received your file. You have to click on submit and get that AFID number. That's what guarantees that we have received your file, and now we can work on transmitting that over to the agencies for you. So I'm gonna not finish, like I said, I'm not gonna finish the product, the demo. Do you want to cancel? Yes. And I'll just say testing. Okay. All right, now I am going to go ahead and jump into that eFile account that I already told you guys. So actually, let me log out and show you what that enroll page quickly looks like. There was a screenshot, but this is essentially it. You create your username, you create your password. Username, I always tell my customers, keep it fairly generic. Stay away from personal names, just in case you have to share this user name and password with multiple people who are filing different reports within payroll. Maybe accounting wants to keep it separate. So just make sure you have one unique password that can be shared and username. So that's what it looks like. But I'll go ahead and log into my account just and quickly show you what this administration can do for you, how powerful this one process is, right? That Scott was talking about. So this is what it looks like. Under the companies tab is essentially your EINs. If you do have multiple companies and would like to keep all the taxpayers under one account, therefore remembering one username and one password, go ahead and add them like how I did. Under the companies tab, after enrolling one of your EINs, you can go ahead and add as many companies as you'd like in this one account. Each account has its own information. You can set up the company information, contact information. For those guys of you who are making payments through Aatrix using our EFTPS or tax deposits or withholding payments, you are able to set up your bank account information. And the agencies through an ACH facilitated service, they will be able to actually withdraw the funds right out of your account. Therefore, you don't have to worry about going onto websites, trying to make the payments, or even forgetting. You can just let Aatrix make the payment for you at that time. Peace of mind, it's already done. A terrible example, but I do have this company selected as all states. If you do file for all states, great. But coming down to state filing and withholdings, go ahead and make your state selection over here. And what's really cool about this is that right underneath, if there are any additional agency requirements for that state, you can take a look at. They're all listed there, and if you're not too sure, how about this form or what you need to do, we have this really cool little information bubble here. You can click on it, and it'll kind of explain to you what you need to do, maybe to get registered with the state. Maybe you need some PIN numbers. It could be a various things, but that's really helpful over there. All 94X series forms, all your 940s, 941s, 943s, they all require an eFile authorization form with Aatrix, just authorizing as a third party that we are able to file on behalf of you. We do have that available for you to print and sign and email back to us so that we can get your 941s and quarterlies taken care of. Jumping over to this inbox tab, again, really quick, we talked about that AFID number. So as you can see, I had made a filing last night, just for the sake of this demo, just to show you guys that this number will always be your reference number for that file specifically. You will never get the same number again. It's basically what I just filed. I filed for that W-2. Here's my cost, right? So if accounting needs any like receipts, you're welcome to share this confirmation with them. All that information is there, right? Calendar, really nice feature. You can actually set up your calendar for your reminders. So when your payroll is due, just so that it's a busy time of the year, things can, you can slip your mind. We have customers calling, oh, we forgot to file our like quarter state withholding form. Do you still have that 2003 form? Yeah, we do. So there's it's just nice to kind of have something that keeps you kind of accountable right within your software, so you can make those timely filings, right? Under the filings tab, so again with the demo, I'm not sure how much detail will show up, but this is kind of nice. So let's just say you have like, I wonder how my filing for my W-2 went, right? You can actually come into your filings tab, open up that AFID under the details tab. You can actually see that I did select the complete server. So this is all going to show you demo, but it'll actually tell you within, like, has it been accepted? Has it been rejected? Is it still on its way, pending? But you have those kind of information there. For whatever reason, let's just say that you submitted a filing and you just realized, oh my gosh, I forgot like to add John Doe onto the list. Within a certain time, period, you can come back into your eFile account and delete the filing, and then obviously go ahead and resubmit. But it has to be done within a specific time. You can't wait like a day and expect, that filing to be editable at that point because we would have already started working on it. So again, just make sure that the information is correct prior to filing. The year-end manager, I think you guys will really like with our complete service or our online services because it kind of gives you that like spare PDF copy like I talked about, and then also some information about the employee's filing status, mail copy status. So let's just say we'll just pick up Claudio because I referenced him earlier. I'm accessing with her social security number, and they mentioned, hey, just I have not received my W-2. Can you just make sure, it has been sent to the right address and things like that. So again, demo, but this delivery status will give you that peace of mind knowing that where is the W-2? Has it been mailed out yet? Has it been delivered yet? Has it not been delivered yet? You will get those updates within your eFile account. Of course, then the address is confirmed, and in the event it hasn't and he needs it, hey, you have that PDF copy right there. You're able to send that over. We also do have the EW2 where it's a secure link that can be sent to the employee with a password, and then they can also access their W-2s online. So we have a couple of options. Pricing tab, I'm not going to really go into it. It's just because it's my demo pricing, but you are able to see the pricing for your year-end reports. You can also purchase your eFile packages here for your quarterly reports. It's all there. The help tab, pretty nice. And then we'll wrap up here is if you have that question, Scott talked about, chat, phone, email, you can come right through that one website. We have our support number here. We have our sales number here. Our hours are here. eFile due dates are here. Our chats, Windows support is anything on technical side. Sales, you probably see me on there, end of the year, trying to help you guys. If you have a specific question about your filing, that AFID number I talked about, we have some great people out there in our eFile center helping, with any questions specific to your filing. And of course, like Scott said, if you don't want to talk to us, you just want to quickly send an email, go ahead, provide your EIN or AFID, write up your message, send it through, and we'll get back to you, right? So we have all these options available, for that whole filing process. So that concludes the demo and the let me stop sharing here so Scott can pull up my slides.
So you did a fabulous job. I wanted to add one thing for everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Jess.
If you aren't able to get your filing deleted and you found that you have errors or missing employees or contractors, you do have the ability to go in and do corrections and add people and remove people and change values. It's a very powerful tool, so make sure that you use that if you need it. Sometimes it's easier to delete the filing if it hasn't started processing and start completely over so you can get fresh data right from church windows. But it supports W-2 corrections, W-2Cs, 1099 corrections, all of them. So that's very helpful if you have any errors that you discover after you've submitted.
Yes, thank you, Jess. I did. My mind must have been going 360 and I totally forgot the corrections. But yes, that is available also with our product. Not a lot of products out there have that ability, and so that's a good reason why to use Aatrix as well. But yes, that concludes the demo part. So
yeah, if everybody goes back, so apparently you have to switch on my screen. So switch to my screen at the top up here, and
yes, you're right.
Yeah, we didn't know that. Now we do, right?
Now we do.
Yep. So, like I said, at the end, you were going to ask, Scott, this is all awesome. What Nisa showed us, what you said, everything that your team has said is awesome. What do I do next? How do I get started? So Nisa, how do they get started?
Yeah. So if you are new here within the Church Windows product, new to Aatrix, one simple thing, all you have to do is either pick up the phone, call us, and we say all you have to do is enroll with Aatrix. the product already exists within church windows. They might be needing on their end just to make sure the implementation is correct and all the forms are updated. But that's pretty much it. And if you are already using Aatrix, we appreciate your business. We love you guys for it. But let's start getting you guys to start using that complete service, right? We gave you the numbers today on what it costs to do it in-house, the hassles, the burden, the tension. Let's just go. Peace of mind, year end. Let's file this seamlessly through the integrated solution. Save money, save your time, right? There's not just the W-2 and 1099 you have to file. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you that have way more on your plate besides your actual job duties, right? So hey, that's basically it. And throughout this process, give us a call. Here's, our sales phone, our chat, our email, like I mentioned. We have all these resources available. Busy season is, busy, but we are busy for you. We want to help you, with making this process just a breeze, a walk in the park. So.
And I know Jess has been answering most of the questions in the background. Let's see here. Looks like there's just one left to do, but I think most of those have been answered in the background. I just want to kind of just finish up and with two quick points. I think point number one is, we're very experienced. We're great at what we do. We keep you compliant, keep you secure no matter where you do business, right? That's number one. And number two, it's super easy to get started. Like Nisa said, you just need to enroll, get started. What I'm fairly new to this team, but I will tell you the fact that how many phone numbers do you see in support these days, right? They're willing to talk to you, right? It's not just chat based like so much of what we see out there these days from a support standpoint. So, we've been a company that's been around for a while. We kind of do it the old-fashioned way. We want to help you throughout the process, however you need to be helped. And the good news is we're doing it right behind the scenes. So we hope you take advantage of our partnership. And if you already are, as Nisa said, thank you very much. Are there any more questions, or do we get them all? There's more in here.
There's definitely more popping in.
Yep.
Scott, I just wanted to add a tag to that, and as being a technician for church windows, and this is a question that I often ask of our customers also too. And part of it is, it's really simple, but how much is your time worth? Honestly, for all of the stress that sometimes can come along with this seems like you guys offer a really great product. Honestly, you really do.
Well, we appreciate, like I said, we really appreciate the partnership with you guys as well. And the way that you've integrated our product into yours, I think it's just a seamless, like I said, compliant solution that we can offer your customer. So it looks like we got a bunch more questions coming in there.
Yeah. So the first one that came in that I said, Jessica looks like she's answering the first one, but the one that I think this is a really good one is, are you Mac compatible?
For this product with church windows, we are not. So it's only a Windows availability.
Okay. I think if your church Windows web, it would work. I think it does. Because it uses the PC, the web-based application on that. So yes, yeah. So but that's good to know because I was unaware, and I think that's a question I wanted an answer for as well. Thank you for that. Somebody's asking, can you put up the contact info?
Sorry, I was just reading that one. It's back up there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I see there's another question by Lee. Does Aatrix sell full-part perforated forms and mailing envelopes? We do not, Lee. The reason is because we want you guys to use the complete service. But if you did, I'm pretty sure you can go to a Office Depot. I'm not too sure of church windows if you guys provide those info, but some of our partners do with other products. But we do not sell those forms because we are an e-file solution. So.
Well, the forms themselves can be printed to plain paper. And so I guess that's my experience with this. But I did also have a customer ask us this morning or email me this morning asking about envelopes because those 4UP forms are not very compatible. Honestly, I did a Google search. They're everywhere. As long as you do 4UP, compatible envelopes, you can find them everywhere. So they're not hard to find. So, yeah. Sorry, there was one more in here. I didn't want to miss that. Oh, how do we get access to the recording? Good question, Edward. Rachel's going to make the video for this available. Probably it'll be out on the website, our website, under the Resource Center page later today. So she said that because she's here till 5 today, we're going to have this out as quickly as humanly possible.
Yeah. I see one more question. Oh,
yep.
okay.
No, go ahead.
Jess is answering Karen right there. So I was just trying to help with that. Anything on the live?
Absolutely.
Can I just cover a couple quick things that it seems like a lot of people are asking in chat?
Sure.
So if you already have an eFile account, you can continue to keep using that one. If you're changing contacts over to somebody else in your company to do it, you can share those credentials with them and they can log in and update the contact information. If you still want to be on there, we do have a section where you can add additional contacts so you guys can like both be up to speed. You can share those credentials if you have a separate accounting, AP and then payroll doing 1099s versus W-2s, or you can create an eFile account for that same EIN for both departments. The only thing is that each of them are required to have a unique email address. So then AP can have a login and payroll can have a login. There is no minimums on how many 1099s or W-2s. If you only have one contractor, you can send that to us. The only thing that varies based on that is going to be the pricing. So there is a minimum fee of that complete service, and there's minimum fees for the federal and state filings as well. So that minimum fee will just kick in. And as Nisa explained, it's either a minimum fee or you pay the per employee cost, but there's never both. It's just once you exceed that minimum, the minimum falls off. W-2s and 1099s, they are completely separate different forms. 1099s go to the IRS, W-2s go to the SSA. So you can't file them together at the same time. They have to be filed separately. So you'd run through the W-2s like Nisa did, and then you'd go through that same process for each type of 1099 you have. So if you need to do 1099 NECs for non-employee compensation, and then you have some other payments that need to be reported on, let's say the MISC form, you would run W-2s, 1099 NEC, and then 1099 MEC. You'd get 3 AFIDs. It'd be 3 separate processes, all containing different information. And then I'll try to answer the rest of the questions.
Yeah, how about Becky's? It says if they're on cloud through Summit hosting, can they use Aatrix or not?
Absolutely can. You bet.
No question. I may have teed you up for that one, Josh.
No. Thank you for keeping an eye on it. I was responding to somebody's question who was via the type method. But yes, absolutely. All of our cloud customers, whether you're PC or Mac users, because you're using the cloud-based Windows application, Microsoft-based applications, remote desktop, what have you, absolutely eFile works with them as well, or print. Yep. No question. Yes.
All right. Looks like we're whittling down the questions, so I think we're getting down to the end of it. If anybody has anything else, let us know.
Edward, the video will be out on the Resource Center page at Church Windows here later today. I believe we're probably obviously going to make available a copy of this for you Aatrix folks as well. So yeah.
And thanks, Deborah, for your kind words. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Saul, very much. I'm going to give folks a few more seconds to kind of see if there's any questions that are popping in here. But we so appreciate you guys taking your time out of the day to share with us. Honestly, as a technician who supported this, and at least the kind of the supply side of it in terms of Church Windows and the information database feeding the information into the Aatrix system, I've learned a lot of stuff over the course of the past couple of years, but I definitely learned some new things today as well. So I really do appreciate it. And I know all of our users do as well. So
yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so it looks like we have another one coming in here. Where do we go to set up that Aatrix makes the actual payments? I think they just have to set up an account with you guys, right? And then request a service? Okay.
Yes, we have a partner page that's available on our aatrix.com website. There's an enroll button right on the top, but if you want to go partner specific, under the solutions tab, find my solution. Church Windows is right there. I believe Scott had it on one of the slides there, Scott. I believe it was on that demo slide. You had
Yeah.
www. I can actually even just put it in here, but we have a partner page that has everything specific to church windows with our pricing, our e-file packages. I believe it's right there. Yep, partner.aatrix.com/church windows. You'll find everything that you need to find there. We even have some pre-recorded demos of what I just did, the W-2, the 1099, the 1095s. Again, e-file forms, deadlines, all of that is within there. So that's essentially how you can get started.
And then Nisa, Becky's asking where do they go to make the set up the account information to make the actual payments? Is that in the portal?
Yeah, so for you to make the payments, like I mentioned, if you log into after creating your account with Aatrix, you can log in and under the companies tab, you can set up your banking account information right there to set up those for the withdrawals of payments for the agencies.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Becky.
Becky, just to add to that, once you get your bank account information added, you'll want to select which states you're in. In the map below it, it'll generate a list of credentials that we may or may not need from you. The little I next to it will have the instructions to tell you how to get the information that we're asking for. And then it's just as simple as going into church windows and going to the state or federal forms list, selecting your payment coupon that you need to do, pulling it up on the screen, and then e-filing it. You'll get an AFID. And during that process is where we'll tell the agency that you want to initiate the payment and to take the funds directly out of your bank account. We never touch any of your money.
That is correct. Yep.
Good. That's good to know. Thank you. Sorry, it's the tech in me that's still following up to make sure I'm understanding. So when I get these calls, I can answer these questions too. Thank you.
Yeah, and Becky can definitely give us a call. We can talk e-file package pricing or just general information on those. We'll be able to help you out. Well, any of these, of course. Yeah, give us a call and we can help you guys get set up if you need help.
All right. Well, I don't see any other questions coming in. I will, I guess we will wrap things up here today. Thank you all so much for taking the